Yo, what up, homies? It's your boy, wowinfo. Clean the oven, wash the pans. Let's put some water in the stove pot. Now we're just gonna rinse our lentils, which are over here. I believe today is Saturday today, so Sunday I'll make a batch of bubble. Well, I'm tired, sore, so I'm not doing that today. House is so clean, folks. We're just sitting on a clean house for a couple days, and then I'm gonna mess it up again. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do some more renovations and some more painting, sanding, all kinds of stuff. So we'll be back into renovation mode shortly. Now we are lentil souping. It is the lentil soup debacle, as it were. We're just placing the ingredients for the soup. On va mettre les ingrédients pour le souper dans le souper pot. Okay, we're just putting the ingredients in the pot. Sounds way more complicated and complex in French. That's why I'm wondering if they even have science. You know what I mean? Is there even science over there, right? Ask yourselves that question. Now, also be asking yourselves, how hot am I, ladies? You know what I mean? Just let all the good people on YouTube recognize how hot I am. Just throw down 10s in the chat right now. That's right, the number 10. I am an easy 10 out of 5. You're getting twice as much when you come around. You know what I'm saying? So don't sweat it. 2 times the fun over here. So the soup's on. I've also got a fresh Brita water, 2 cups of tea. I was gonna do up some sort of baguette or something like that. Maybe we'll do some cheese and cracker slices or something. Keep it simple. For dessert, probably gonna be a smoothie. It's just gonna be maybe pineapple juice with a little bit of tea, cooled peppermint tea, and then I'll apply vegan plant-based yogurt, unsweetened, and then we'll add some berries and protein shake to that. It'll be epic, trust me. But do I want to do all those things I just said? The short and the sweet answer is yes, I have to. So let's start doing that right now. Grab the yogurt. And then the freezer here. Yeah, these berries, they're no good. They're frozen solid. Let's try these ones. These are equally frozen solids. Super good stuff. And then we got these ones. Which don't really taste like anything. They've been freeze dried or whatever's happened. There's too much water ice crystals in this batch. Well, all 3 bags, which is I mean, they're using water weight at this point, right? I don't like that kind. So I got my jug thing here, and I have water, right? And I did say tea, but it's hot tea. But how do you do that? You take the tea, you pour it into the jug, right? The next thing you do is get your damn teacups and your tea bags back in there. Anytime now. It's making me want to add more water. It's okay. We're going to pour some cold water into this. Now we'll just leave it there for a minute. Now I can adjust with a little bit of vegan yogurt a spoonful of protein powder and some berries in the bottom of that now that it's full of liquid. And you just blend that up, and you won't even recognize what you're having. It'll be a burst of flavor that you want to have more of. You can only have 1 or 2 of these a day, all right? Tons and tons of proper nutrients are about to go in your body this meal. You want to have a nice head of hair. You want to have a nice beard. You got to eat nice foods. Okay? You have to hydrate. You can't have more pop drinks than you do water in your body. You're killing yourself, all right? Now, you're gonna add, while the soup's cooking, you're gonna add some plant-based yogurt to your smoothie. Just a little bit, you know. What it does is it makes it smoother, yeah? It's a thing. Now, you want to get in there with some berries. It's also a thing, right? Don't let any blueberries get away on you. I got a 45-minute rule with food on the ground here in the kitchen. It's all new flooring. I keep her quite clean, so I haven't lost any food in months now. We're just gonna put this in the blender as is. As soon as I find that blender lid. I usually have it right next to the blender, but today I don't. And I know I washed it after I washed the blender lid. After I washed the blender, so it should be like right here. You know what I mean? So now what you want to do is grab some I can't believe I can't find the blender lid. It's got to be right here. If I took it to the basement, that's really bad, because that does not go to the basement. At this point, all I can tell you is mistakes were made, okay? The lentil soup debacle keeps getting debacleier, okay? And I don't know if you know about debacleier, but it's not even healthy for you, so stop eating debacle. Debacler. It's not even healthy. They don't want you to know, you know? What in the hell? There's nothing on the counter anymore. I've removed all old items and garbage and junk. Now I'm sitting on 2 bowls, which this one needs to be washed out. And then the other 2 bowls are already washed out here. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, I'm just going to rinse it though. These 3 bowls soaking in hot water. And there's nothing else here. The counter's done. My soup spoons. This. I'm actually just going to dump this outside and squeegee the counter. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea where the damn thing is. I must have obviously taken it to the basement in a fit of rage. You know what I mean? So Wonderful. As I said, the soup debacle gets even debacleier. You know what I mean? And don't eat debacleier. It's not good for you. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but debacleier is totally not good for you, they're saying now. Let me see if it's in the oven, because I did put the pizza pan in there. That'd be just stupid, right? So it's not. There's nothing in the pizza pan. There's nothing underneath it. Wow, I cleaned the kitchen though. That makes me happy. At the same time, it makes me sad. You know what I mean? I must have, I had a problem with the blender for 6 weeks. And now I have a problem with the blender. So I'll solve that problem. It's got to be in the basement. Let's go get the blender. Oh, all the way in the damn basement, you know? Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. I washed more spoons and stuff, I don't know. I also soaked a bunch of dishes, so all the kitchen down there is all nice and sparkling. And I just drained the sinks, washed off all the dishes with the grime, scrubbed all the plates I had grime, spit that down the sink. Hot water rinsed everything, filled the sink with hot soapy fresh clean water, washed out the sink, filled it, and then soaked the 7, 10 plates and 3 or 4 bowls. Me or my wife will nail that in the morning. It'll take me 15 minutes, it'll take her about 25, 35, 60 seconds. She's a pro. I just sit there and stare at stuff for about 5 minutes and then I get going. I don't see the blender thing though. So if I look here at the very back and behind, there's nothing. Okay? So I got a Keurig, I got cups of tea. I'm gonna add honey to this. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add honey to the tea because honey is really good. But I'm just like, wonder where that lid to the shaker is, you know what I mean? So, and then I'm like, where could it be? Is what I'm thinking now, you know what I mean? If I was a fucking lid to a Ninja blender, and it's Christmas, which titty bar am I heading off to? So I gotta phone all the titty bars and be like, have you seen the lid to my Ninja mixer? You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure my lid headed off to the titty bar. If I know what's good for my lid, he's at the titty bar right now throwing toonies, you know what I mean? So now I just gotta find the titty bar that accepts Ninja blender lids without ID, which is probably all of the titty bars in Winnipeg. Just being real. But like if I was a lid, right? And I was like, hey, yo, I know a great place. I know where there's lots of titties. You know what I mean? I would head over there. If I was a Ninja blender lid, I would head right over to the titty section. And I would probably live there. You know, I would set up camp. You know, I would probably look for work somewhere in the back where the food came out of the front. I would look for work there. Or I would just be straight titty security. You know what I mean? Do you need a good tittiesman? I'm your guy. I won't, not a scratch will come to them titties. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to look over here. Heaven forbid it should be over here. It's not. Well, like I said, if I were a blender lid, you know what I mean? In 2025, and I knew what was coming in 2026. Oh man, you know what, that blender lid? Now I'm starting to think like maybe the lid has made its way into here. Why? I don't know. I don't know. It's not. But I said it felt like. You know what I mean? Now I'm feeling like the lid is down here somewhere. Why? You know, I remember seeing it now too. Now I remember seeing like the old sharp lid. Oh, there it is. I found it. You're fucking right, so it was at the titty bar. So, we're doing this. We're really doing this. I got the lid. Oh, it's filling. It's pissing everywhere. It's fine. It's fine. It's really not, but it's too late to worry about that now. All right? Folks, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I am probably doing other things after this, so I'm just chilling. We got a funny episode to watch on the TV. Shouts out to funny episodes. You know? Ooh, this soup smells good. We're about 5 or 10 minutes away from having hot soup. The tea is so hot you'll burn your mouth if you had any right now. I like to give the oven a nice wiping. Hi, Tiggs. Mm-hmm. Yes, Daddy wiped down the microwave really nice. Very important to keep this stuff up. You want treats? Okay. Papa will put treats in the bowl, okay? You come and eat this. Oh, Pops loves you. You gotta eat all your food. This is food. You eat this, okay? Yeah, make sure you eat it all up, okay? Good boy. Good boy. So we're just gonna keep stirring the soup. That's what you do when you're making a pot of soup like this. You don't want to have it crappy. If you don't want it stuck to the bottom, it'll burn as well. I mean, these are lentils. They will clearly, these things will burn black. It smells like poo when these things burn. So you want to have a nice bowl of soup. You stir from the middle up, and you do little helicopter spins, and you really move the whole pot of soup around without ever touching the bottom. Okay. Then you take it and you wind the sides real slow. You're not trying to be some superstar that's throwing soup out of the pot everywhere. I haven't spilled in it. Even a drop of soup hasn't spilled yet. So the pot has, like, if you put 3 more milliliters of water in here, it will overflow. So it's a full pot of soup with some foam on the top. And it's looking good. It's smelling like homemade soup. Like if you walked into a restaurant, this is what you want a restaurant to smell like. Once she starts gurgle bubbling in a fearsome boil, you want to turn her down. You don't want to have a rolling, spitting boil. You want to take her down to a low medium. See, you just got her first little spit up there. Spitting soup is very dangerous if you cook naked, so be careful. Now that you've blown on your soup consistently, give yourself a head rush and you're quite dizzy, and you know your soup is 50% done now, okay? You reduce that soup, and you let her sit there and think about how hot I am, okay? Now what's going to happen, the soup's going to thicken up, the water level is going to reduce over the next 5-10 minutes as it gurgle bubbles and the steams. What you're going to do after is, once it reduces, once you have the heat on, you're going to continue every 10 minutes, you're going to turn the heat down another square, right? Another square. After which time you should be at, let's see, there's 5 squares right now. In 30 minutes, the oven will be off, okay? When you get to the last 5 minutes, before you turn it right off, add any liquid that you can to the pot again to rehydrate the soup and bring it back up to, just before the top, like it was when you started it. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to have a good, you want to mash up some of the lentils at that last 5 minutes, and then they'll turn into a thicker broth, like a really thick habitant pea soup kind of broth. You want that. You want that. And then after you add that water, you're going to rehydrate that broth so it's not so stewy and more soupy. If you like a stewy one, then go for it. You don't have to rehydrate. You can leave it as is, serve it up, and you got that really nice thick lentil soup. And it's pretty creamy even, right? Like the lentils melt in your mouth at that point, right? I like to get it a little bit more water in there, thicken, so it's not so thick. And I like it medium thickness. I don't want it thin. I don't like thin soups. I think thin soups, you've wasted your time. Your soup has mostly water. You know what I mean? I would call it a broth, not a soup, right? So we've got honey in both our cups of tea. We got a specialized tea for my wife, the blueberry tea that she picked out with honey in it. And we'll take that to her. She can start sipping that. I'll get the garbage outside. She's going to put back in the garbage for me. The boss. You have any more popcorn tonight? No. Thanks, Adam. I'll take the garbage back. To the back lane. I gotta wash my bags out tomorrow. And when I say me, I mean my wife. She'll put them in the washer and put them on a specific cycle that I need them on. when I explain to her what type of cycle I need, she will adjust our powerful washer to that cycle. And then I can start. So actually, I'm still 24 hours away because I have to wash my bags. But no big deal. I'm gonna wash the floors too tomorrow. So vacuum, wash the floors, and then I'm gonna make some awesome. And I also have I have all kinds of stuff. The wife and I are making cookies, so we're getting our recipes ready for cooking. I want chocolate chip cookies, I want chocolate chip peanut butter cookies, and I'm going for ginger snap cookies. Those are my three. I love cookies a big time. I have a few M&Ms. I'll make like a couple of monster cookies. I'll do some peanut butter cookies because that's easy to make, and I'll add some M&Ms to them. But I have a couple pieces of white chocolate. I could probably make like, 4 or 5 monster cookies out of white chocolate. Do 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 out of M&Ms, and then split them up and take a few to each person's house. A couple houses going to, so everybody gets a cookie type of deal. And then do up some cookie platters. Also do up some chocolate candy cane bark or something like that, and that's it. Everybody gets a little piece of that, and then the mixed nuts as well. I also did Christmas sweet and salty Christmas nuts, so we'll give a jar of that, a jar of candy, and a jar of and a container of cookies. You know what I mean? So 3 houses are getting that selection. So it's pretty good. I'd like to be getting all those different things. They're homemade too, so I mean it's not like it's gonna be good, all right? And good candy too, like really fresh, tasty candy. So as well as caramel popcorn and things like that. We picked up some nice, really expensive eats, and we're gonna share them. So we got Colonel's popcorn Christmas mix, double caramel, the expensive one, and we got other stuff too. We got Skittles, sour keys. I got these strawberry things, these strawberry candies. I got freeze-dried candy. I have butterscotch snappers. I got chocolate pretzel snappers. We have M&Ms. So we have a bunch of different candies. And then we have some other stuff too. I actually got a bunch of cookies from Costco that I have to take back, like $30 box of cookies. I was just gonna hand out like 4 of each type in each one. Oh my god, the cookies are so bad. So that's not happening. The soup is so amazing. I wish I had some more dinner rolls or something. I don't have any bread, no toast. I gotta check though. I'm pretty sure I don't have any bread. Like we've been using up here. Everything we used up. So we got some super pockets to give to Buddy. He never got to try them. And then we're gonna have vegetable pot stickers. I'm gonna make, and we'll take a little platter of veggie bites and stuff over to friends and family in a couple days. So let's see here. I'm really excited to spend some time with my wife, just downtime. We've got a lot of cleaning done. 90% of the electrical's done. I mean, if I can lift my arms, I can't. Tomorrow I'll finish off this one fan, and then all the electrical's done. I can't lift my arms over my head too good, so I'm just gonna wait it out. My wife's been massaging me. I've been soaking. I'm gonna take some anti-inflammatory stuff, and I'm gonna rest up, and I'm gonna rest up, and I'm gonna continue to rest up. Damn it if I haven't been doing push-ups and sit-ups and squats and planks and stuff, and then fucking dude gets stuck in the back lane, dude gets stuck in the front. I mean, I can't keep up with all the people getting stuck right now, so I'm just gonna put a sign up that says, if you suck at driving, stay home. You know what I mean? And if you really gotta be somewhere, and you know you're gonna get stuck, and you know you suck at driving in the winter, call a cab. Let them get stuck. If you don't make it to your appointment, you don't pay the cab fare. Walk out of the cab, say, you know what, you're stuck, bye. Hop on a Winnipeg Transit. Only 100 of the 400 buses that were in service, they got stuck, okay? Your odds of getting on a bus that didn't get stuck are pretty damn good. 1 in 4, 25% chance you're screwed. 75% chance you're just going to make it there a little bit late, all right? Which one of those options do you want? Let's pull my $40,000 car out into the middle of the street so I can ram a snowbank at 50. You know what I mean? Let's mess up the entire undercarriage of my vehicle. You know what I mean? So that, because I don't want to take a cab. Because I don't want to take a bus. You see what I did there? That's common sense. If I know I gotta be somewhere downtown and I'm really concerned with parking or something, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna walk. There's not a lot of people with that much brains. It's that easy. It's called commuting. You either ride a bike, you ride a unicycle, you take one of them little mopeds, you take a little scooter, you take a one wheel, or you take an e-bike. But you get downtown with the e-bike or the little thing. It folds up, it locks up, you lock it up somewhere, and you come back for it later. If you're old and you can barely walk, do you think maybe you should get on public transit? Or do you think you should take a cab? Quickly say you should take a cab. So priorities are important, people. Priorities. Prioritize yourself to get somewhere in a professional manner. Don't make it all sloppy and, oh geez, I could have done this, I should have done this, when it's too late. You understand? Be proactive with yourself in how you get around. First thing I do is judge my routes. Like Google. Bicycle, half an hour. By car, 15 minutes with heavy traffic. You know what I mean? That's really good if you live in the city. Walking, 1 hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, jogging. Get it done, start walking. It's an hour. It was only a half hour, if you took a bike. It's just barely more to walk. You gotta walk, guys. I get it, you're a lady and you wear high heels and you got a tiny skirt on. I get it. You gotta dress professional so that people look at you and so you keep your job. I get that, for real, I get it. You don't want to dress like you just got off of an Antarctic expedition. Oh, I get it. I mean, it's dumb, but I get it. Guys, you got no excuse. None. You don't wear high heels and you don't wear short skirts. Wear long pants. Wear 2 sets of pants. Wear sweatpants on top of them. 2 pairs of socks. Get a pair of boots that are real boots and they don't get, snow doesn't affect them. Those are real boots. Those are man boots for winter time. Get some man boots. You're going to need them this winter. You know what I mean? I was taught at a young age, you act like a man or you just cry and be a little boy for the rest of your teenage years. And I acted like a man because I wasn't going to cry over not only spilt milk, but tiny amounts of pain, Crying over spilt milk is something you got to learn the hard way, right? People are going to tell you, to prioritize your nuts instead of prioritizing your feeling, okay? A lot of people want you to focus on your feeling, okay? Those are very bad people. You have to understand why. Everybody has feeling. But do you think that everybody goes through the same stuff in life? Quickly say yes. The only people that don't are like the 1%ers. Those people in the ivory towers, silver spoon fed. Their kids have condos and big trucks and they've never done it. They don't even know what a big rock looks like, let alone lifted one, okay? I made OMG. O to the M to the motherfucking G, bro. This is the best soup I ever made. Herby. I'll kick your grandma in the back for a little sniff on this soup, okay? I'm being dead serious right now. You can't stop me, all right? Oh, this is good. It is damn good. The only way good goes in a sentence if you follow it up with, this be damn good, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, damn good. This is one of them soups you could sit somebody down and be like, son, you know what? You're now a man. You know what I mean? You make this soup, you tell your kid, you're now a man. You know? A fucking tear comes over your face, you know? You start crying. He's like, hey, Pa, I never seen you cry before. What's going on? Son, you're now a man. You've made your father very happy in his stomach muscles. This is one of them soups. You finally realize what it means to be a man, you know? All them years throwing carrots in a pot, not having a fucking clue what you were doing in a soup kitchen. You know what I mean? And now look at you. Fucking firing off the greatest fucking lentil soup money can't buy. This shit is about 32 to 64 cents a pot of soup, okay? This will feed your whole family for 30 fucking cents. This is gonna give your family more energy than all the fast food in the world forever. Them hollow ingredients can't save your family now, okay? You want to get healthy, you want to fight off bugs, bacteria, and anything else in between there, this shit's for you. You want to put hair on your chest, your dink, your nuts, and your fucking forehead, this shit's for you. You understand me? Now I got that purple smoothie of destiny. I got a cup of hot, pretty warm, double tea bag peppermint tea. My wife got a triple tea bag with a 2-pumper. It's an 8-ounce and a 12-ounce. It's nearly 2.5 cups of tea. Plus she's going to get a secondary fill up halfway on that. So she's going to get about another 20 ounces of water on top once she drinks that first banger. Okay? She has enough honey to last that second banger as well. I do as well. I also have a spare tea bag right here. And no more honey for the night. But we're sitting on a 5 pounds of honey here. I'm going to go pick up another 3 or 4 of these. Okay, so whatever it is, 12 bucks, 19 bucks. I'm going to go get 3 or 4 more. Honey doesn't expire and this shit will save your life. So take it from me. Go get yourself some real deal honey and get it in you. Okay, very important that you eat honey. All right, it's unpasteurized honey. A 2 kilogram coming in at about 4.5, 5. Just for 4.5 pounds, something like that. Now, soup's on. We got the spoons ready. The bowls are ready. It's time to serve up and shut up. You know what I'm saying? We got crackers here as well. They're really good crackers. These are vintage crackers. I ain't playing. We're using the finest crackers that poor people can afford. I'm poor, and that's all I can afford. If you're out there getting a $62 box of crackers and you want to have me over and can put some jams in there, I will come to your house if you got good jams, and I won't even complain about your $64 crackers. I will say they're very good, even if they aren't. But I am poor, so I'm accustomed to the poor people ingredients. It's going to be hard for me to go back to eating a cracker, not going back to ever eating a cracker that contains actual ingredients, as I've seen these companies starting to pull away from their death ingredients they were giving us before. My body will probably reject the healthy ingredients, you know what I mean? So what have they done is all I can say. You know, as we become more aware, I think they become a lot more fearful of the repercussions of us. Well, basically we have not found out, but we have the information that allows us to understand. Nobody's asking any questions so far in Canada. How do I word this? The people of California a lot of them are awake. I hate using that term, as a lot of people around the world are so misunderstanding of what that actually means. It's your third eye, okay? Your pineal gland. The real messenger, as it were. So when you allow your third eye to understand, and you use your conscience and your gut instincts, there's a lot of people in Canada that haven't even accessed part of that beautiful machine that we have inside of us. And it's a multi-level experience that you can't have one without the other. You can't have one without the other. Love and marriage, it's an institute you can't disparage. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. So what that means is, in my world, you got to know you have to have an understanding of all of the things that make you tick. Once you do, you open up your mind's eye to understanding what the fuck they're up to. And that's simply put. That's as layman's terms as I can go for anyone. Anyone that wants to, dumb that down what I said, you can't be as smart as me in order to have that done, okay? You have to be... You can only be half as smart as me to get even dumber layman's terms, if that makes sense, right? Because it comes across, now we're talking about dialect, right? So now I have to use a uneducated form of dialect, slow down my words even more, and that would allow people with a really low IQ to grasp some of it. You know what I mean? The lower the IQ gets, the less of the sentence that's understood, right? So let's say 100% of the sentence is understood at an 80% high IQ. We'll just call it that for now. Because nobody has a real 100% high IQ. You're always learning, right? The best I think a person could possibly have without stumbling over their words in certain topics that others want to ask you a question about would be 80%. This way you're not having an information overload, right? If you're too smart, I find it hard to believe that you'd be smart on every topic that could arise, right? Oh, you must be a master speaker if you have any more than 80% intellect, okay? The first thing you want to do is take your bowl over to the sink, tilt your bowl and the pot, and then just pour it in. That way you don't spill down the edges. You got a hair on the bowl, no big deal. OMG. This soup is heavenly. Next, the same tech. And it should go easier because the pot is lesser now. And it did. And just bopping and dropping. The soup is on. The soup is on. The soup is on. My baby, she won't want a smoothie protein shake thing. If she does, she has her own drinks in the basement there. She has her own protein milks and stuff like that. Okay. I'm excited. I have to do a bit more of that, and I have to finish up all that. It'll make me sad, but it needs to get done because I have stuff I have to do after that. So I'm excited to finish that, but it's the end of my purple, and that'll make me very sad. But I got to get the beans out of it. Like, I have to get the rest of the beans out. So that's one of my most favorite varieties, that none of that can ever slip out into anyone else's hands. That is specifically for me. Now, and it's like there's only beans every like 5 to 6. It's not coming, like they're not like everywhere, which sucks, but that's how she goes. So, got my soup. I should have the crackers. I don't see them yet. I actually have to use the washroom, so I'll be using that washroom first and then souping it up. I don't see the crackers. Hey, Bay, are the crackers downstairs, hon, the Venta?
Pretty sure that's where you saw them.
Could you bring them up when you come, love? I've got your soup and tea on the bedside, okay?
Well, there's no bed to sit on, so.
Okay, well, let's do the bed. I have to go to the washroom, so let's do it. You're just getting the screw? Okay. So the wife's fixing the bed frame, needs a screw on it. We had to use a different screw for another item we were doing, so I'll see you guys on the next one. If you guys want to see the soup, the finale, I'll show it to you. We created this beautiful soup here. Heaven in a pot of soup. And then obviously we've got two beautiful soups. You've got that. And then I made this, okay? Protein berry smoothie with plant-based yogurt and protein powder. Double peppermint tea. And then 2 big bowls of soup here. And the Venta crackers are coming. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I'll see you next time. Hashman out. Peace.